Perfect. And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Sister Soul Sessions, where we are elevating entrepreneurs one soulful conversation at a time. Tonight, we're talking about something that almost everyone has had to face, especially with this new age of social media, and that's visibility. Our guest has made it her mission to change that, of course, and no longer make it a problem. Oh, you're muted, sis. You are muted, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, it wouldn't let me go on mute. Okay, there we go. So for those of you who are just meeting our guests for the first time, please introduce yourself, Miss Stephanie, to our wonderful audience who are viewing.
Of course. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation and see where this conversation goes. My name is Stephanie Omotosho. I am a data and AI strategist by day. I work at a Fortune 200 company leading digital transformation and helping implement AI in the company. And alongside that, I am also the founder of StephxTech, which is my personal brand business where I'm helping other women and people in general learn how to build and monetize a personal brand because I really believe that everyone needs to be building a personal brand in 2026. The way everything is going, AI visibility is just so critical. And I'm here to help people that want to come on that journey too.
I'm signing up first, so you guys just wait. I'll let you know how it goes. It is a struggle I have had, even with doing this. So that's kind of what caught my eye to your page in particular. I did see your start, the numbers, and how that progressed. So definitely excited to have you. Thank you again for taking the time, not only teaching our audience, but like I said, I'm going to be the first person, you guys, asking questions that I need. So don't worry.
I'm here to help. I'm not going to gatekeep anything.
We appreciate it. And thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I will start then. You recently shared, like I was stating, that just a few months ago, you were posting consistently and seeing almost no results online. What was happening during that season?
Yeah, those were some rough days. So January of this year, I decided to start building my personal brand. And I didn't really know what I was going to do with it. I'm kind of still figuring it out as I go along. But I made a decision that I was going to be intentional about being more visible and putting myself out there, regardless of how cringe and embarrassing
Okay.
it got. And it was cringe and embarrassing. So in those very early days, I started the account from scratch and I felt myself getting self-conscious as people were finding my page that I knew.
Yeah.
And so I just blocked everybody. As they would come to my page, I would block them
Yeah, they knew
because
you? Okay.
yeah, like if I know you, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We can come back to this thing later, but right now I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
So I had to remove that kind of pressure from myself.
Mm.
And I think I encourage anyone that is feeling a little bit of tension internally as to, oh, I'm worried about what people are going to say. I'm worried about, looking stupid or whatever. If you, that is a tool that you have available to you. And if you feel like it will help you feel more comfortable putting yourself out there, continuing to put in the reps as you're practicing and learning it, just use it. And if you want to explain it to people, you can explain it to people. The people that I blocked, I told them, I was like, hey, love you. However, I know how sensitive I am and I
Yeah.
know how self-conscious I am. I
Mm.
just need to put this barrier up for now. It will come down later, but
Love that.
I'm gonna see you when I see you. So
No, I
I just
love that.
I just
Yeah.
really had to give myself that space. And
Mhm.
the algorithm knows you're connected, so it will show your account to people that know you. And I just had to make it stop doing that.
Yeah. No,
So
completely
it was
understand.
very uncomfortable posting content, not getting views, not getting follows. I posted every single day for 66 days and I only got to 286 followers. And I was like, isn't this supposed to be working by now?
Yeah.
And it just was not working at all. And it was very challenging. But I'd made a commitment to myself to stick with it for 90 days at least before I threw in the towel. And so I just kept going and I didn't want to go back on my word that I made to myself. And so I
Yeah.
just kept pushing through.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing. No, that's a great tip. Definitely use that. So if you guys start getting blocked, don't feel any way. But I do have to get past this feeling of,
They won't
wanting
be
to hide.
notified, by the
Yes.
way. They won't
Yeah.
be notified. They
So,
just,
okay, well,
if they
good.
if they happen to look for you, they won't find you is the
Right.
only thing. Yeah.
Okay. You guys heard it here. Steph told me, it's the way that I can get past this.
A real friend will understand.
Right, right.
See, that's very true. And then, like, because you are building this personal branding, and generally, when people hear personal branding, the first thing that comes to mind is influencer. So, how do you define personal branding differently to change people's perspective that it's not just being an influencer?
Yeah, that's such a great question. So, to me, an influencer has the ability to be known, to be seen, and there's a different metric there for influencing. It's like, how many eyes can I get on my thing?
Right.
But to me, a personal brand is not just being known, but also getting people to like you as well as trust you, so that you are helping them make a decision about something, whether it's to buy from you or someone else. It's related to how you come across, and the way that you do that helps them understand that they can trust this person. So it's almost like a popularity and exposure, but
Yeah.
then the brand is where the real connection and trust is built.
That's a great way to define that, because you're right. That's why we trust these other brands. It's, longevity that we've had with them, the consistency. So yeah, definitely you can be a pretty face, you can have all of the talent, you can have all these things, but being actually visible as a brand is going to be separate. I do want to go to your years of corporate experience. You already built a successful business. You described yourself as invisible online before, probably due to your job. I'm similar, data analyst. Just actually started getting into AI business strategy, so definitely understand the behind the scenes. Why do you think so many accomplished professionals struggle with visibility, especially in our field?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that there's a lot of conditioning that
Mm,
we, especially as women, are subject to as we're, being raised. Many of us are raised to speak when spoken to wait until you're recognized, or wait your turn and someone will notice you
yeah,
and give you what it is that you think you deserve. And so a lot of times I feel like we hold ourselves back just because we've been raised to believe that that's the right way to go about things.
mm,
And it happens in corporate and it happens on social media.
yeah,
I see so many women in corporate that want to be promoted but are not being visible and are not asking for it and are not putting their resume together in a way that demonstrates the impact that they're bringing. So I think it's a lot to do with conditioning, and also societal narratives around how women should be showing up, right?
yeah,
It's like, don't be too much, don't be too loud, don't be too this. If you ask, you're greedy. If you this, you're pushy. And there's just all these things that we have received and heard and been told over and over and seen some people be punished for, that
yeah.
it makes you kind of want to hold yourself back. But it's not serving you, because 9 times out of 10, it's not coming to you unless you go get it. So
Mm,
I think a lot of women just need to embrace the fact that we are evolving past those outdated norms. And yeah, they still exist to some degree, but it's up to you to take the reins of your life and push past those things that are starting to fall away, and then chart your own path to where you want to go.
very true, very true, very well said. Yes, like you said, especially for women, we are conditioned in a way that is different at a young age, especially the, be seen, not heard type of thing. So we definitely are escaping, I would say, that patriarchal norm that we have grown up in. But yeah, I think that's probably why it's different and difficult now, because we are just on the cusp of that and understanding that, not being seen as sexual objects, but also, things that we're doing right now. We get that all the time, like, oh, you guys, if you guys did a podcast about this or had a different subject, you guys would be further along. And for us, it's just like, well, okay, we want to be seen this way,
We
and
have
this is what we
substance.
do.
We're
Yes,
smart. We can talk
yes,
about smart things.
yes. Like come see us, but we will be speaking about something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love that you said that, because there are so many different societal norms that are placed upon you before you even get to expose yourself.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I was going to ask you concerning visibility. When did you have the moment, I guess, when I guess visibility was no longer optional anymore and you wanted to be seen and you made yourself known? Do you know when that moment happened for you?
6 months ago, girl.
yeah.
6 months ago. As it relates to business, it was literally 6 months ago. Where so I have my corporate job, but I also have run a marketing agency for the last 4 years, and we've gotten great results, won awards, and for all intents and purposes, it was thriving. And all of my clients used to refer business to me, and I never felt like I had to look for clients. They just came to me from the results that I was getting from my clients. But it led to me becoming the marketer or the cobbler with no shoes, because I never did my own marketing. I never
Oh,
really
that part.
crafted a message, built a brand around my business. I just kind of sat there and let them come. And
Mhm.
when I decided to try to create a digital product suite to help people learn how to do their own marketing and run their own advertising, I went away and built this whole, it was like 6 different products with like all the AI bonus. It was actually fantastic, if I just might say so myself. It was great. But when I came to launch this campaign, that I stayed up all night, the day before launch, I stayed up all night to get everything ready for this launch, thinking, "Oh my god, yes, finally I'm going to be able to help more people regardless of the price or whatever." I launched it, and nothing. I
Mhm.
did not make one sale. It was supposed to run and reveal one product per day that week. And every single day, I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
I'm refreshing and nothing is happening. Nothing is changing. I literally made it to the end of the week and I made no sales that whole week. And it just was so sobering. But my mentor was like, ask everyone on your list, like, why didn't you buy? I had run ads
Mhm.
and said, get on the wait list. If you want to get first access to all this stuff, here's what you're going to get at like deeply discounted prices. So he was like, all these people put their hands up, but they didn't buy. So just ask them why they didn't buy. And so I sent out this email and I asked, well, why didn't you buy? And they all the responses I got back said, I don't know you. I don't know
Wow.
who you are. Like I don't see you anywhere. I signed up for your list, but like I don't know why I should trust you.
Mhm.
And that's when the light bulb went off in my head that it doesn't matter what credentials I have. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what results I get for people. It doesn't matter that there's a place for people to go see it and find it. If I'm not actively putting myself out there and marketing my brand, nothing is going to happen. The results that I want for my business are not going to come to me. I have to go out and generate that for myself. And so that was really the turning point, and I realized that whatever I did next, I was going to have to put some real time and effort into being visible and being intentional about building a brand that could support whatever I did.
Yeah, what a
Listen,
change. Like you
I
said,
have
you were already successful. Yeah. And to think like,
that
wait, you
come up
guys are
a lot.
already purchasing from me. But yeah, when you created something,
Yeah,
yeah, how
it
humbling that is
was very
to,
humbling.
yeah, to look back on. But you said, many women already have like the expertise, kind of like what you're saying, it didn't matter about the credentials. They do lack the visibility. Why has visibility become such a critical business skill today than you say before when you first started your marketing, things like that?
Because as much as I love AI, it is also kind of a problem.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's also kind of a problem. Um, Information has never been more readily accessible.
Yeah.
It has never been easier to find information on anywhere. Anyone can go to ChatGPT and figure out how to create a marketing strategy or
Yeah.
how to XYZ. And it just makes it that much harder if you are a business owner, service provider, to deliver value and be impactful if you don't have some way of connecting with people
True.
as part of your service delivery. So I really believe that the differentiation for most people that have businesses right now is going to be how well you can connect with your audience. You can package up your information and sell it, but it's going to be 10 times more valuable if you're offering a human component to it. You
Right.
have to be literally connecting with people because that's what AI cannot do. AI cannot empathize with someone's story. AI cannot tell you categorically, like in your history, here's where you went wrong and here's how to change things. It just doesn't have that human factor, doesn't have the same judgment, the same taste as humans to be able to make those connections. It can't read facial expressions and things
Yes.
like that. So I think, as great as AI is and as much as I want everyone to be using it, it just has accentuated the need for human connection. And so if you are trying to do anything, put anything out there, build something out there, and especially because people are starting to realize that anyone can pick up an AI tool, anyone can go to Lovable right now and say, build me this app. And we don't know who built the app. I don't know what security measures you've put into place with it.
Yes.
I don't know what checks and balances you've put. Like, I have no idea. So, how can I trust your application? Well, if you've built a brand that talks about your values and you've taken me on the journey of building the application and shown me some of the guardrails that you're putting into place, I'm going to be more likely to trust you and to want to
Right.
use your app. But if you're just, slapping things together and then throwing it out there, it's just going to be so much harder for people to trust you. So it all
Yes.
boils down to that trust element. And I think that being visible and building a brand around the thing that you're trying to build is just the best way to do it today.
For sure.
Amen to that. Because people put so much trust into AI these days. So much trust. They
All of their
trust their
proprietary
personal
information is insane.
information,
Yeah.
all of their business into AI. And I'm just like, you don't know what's on the other end. Like, you don't know what they're going to do with that information. And you can't just build just anything. Like you say, you take the human aspect out of it.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Gotta be
using
careful.
AI.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing. I honestly feel like when you speak on building the personal brand and I guess my question for you is for someone out there who does not have any type of AI skills, how would they go about building a personal brand if they lack those skills or any type of technical skills? Do you have any advice for them?
Yeah. So for anyone that's trying to learn how to use AI, honestly, YouTube is going to be your best friend. Like, you're either going to do YouTube, there's so many free tutorials on YouTube, or you're going to invest in someone that you know and trust to guide you along that process.
Yeah.
Because YouTube, you can't go back and forth. You can't ask questions and get the answers to your specific situation. So you're either going to find something that's free, like, or you can pay. You can pay. But I encourage finding something free or someone you trust to guide you through a process. And I also think there's a lot of mindset stuff with AI. So in my most recent cohort, I intentionally didn't talk too much about the AI component because I know that for people that are non-technical, it can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
Um, but once we got into it and I started sharing, I'm going to be teaching you guys AI. You're going to learn how to train your own AI assistant. I'm going to give you Claude skills. I'm going to give you co-workflow so that you can schedule tasks and all of your research is going to be done for you automatically. Their eyes started to light up as I was highlighting the use cases and the types of things that they can do with it. Now, was
Yes.
it still overwhelming for some? Yes, of course, because it's a learning curve. But once they started getting into the tool, following the steps and, you know, uploading the skills and doing the things that I was telling them to do, pretty much all of the reviews that they wrote highlighted how Claude was like one of the best parts of the program because like
Yeah.
it unlocked a different way of thinking for them. So I
Mhm.
think if you're new to AI or any technical tool, just getting into the tool itself is a step in the right direction. And if you can just start building things, like literally just go into Claude and tell it what you want to do, or give it like things that you have to do and say, how can you help me do this?
Yeah.
And let it make the plan for you. How would I build something that helps me do this more consistently? And it will tell you what it can and cannot do. And then you can say, great, do it for me.
Yeah, do
Or
it.
and then you just go back and forth with it. It'll tell you what it can do, it'll tell you what it can't do. And it's just like getting into it, putting the reps in, practicing with it, failing with it, but getting back up and then doing it again. Like that's
Yeah.
how you learn and that's how you get better. No one has to know you're doing it. No one has to know if your app doesn't work or if it doesn't load tomorrow. You're learning, you're testing, you're playing around. See it as a playful endeavor to see what's possible with this technology that we have never had before. So that's what I
Yes,
would say.
completely new technology, and the learning gap right now is insane. So, like you said, definitely find someone that you trust. There are a lot of tools. It does seem overwhelming, so that's why we're glad that we have, StephxTech, places that you can actually go, learn, know that someone cares about their brand enough to care about yours. It's very important. If you see people and they're kind of sketchy or theirs isn't working, because you'll see it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That may not be the place to go. But it's a big learning curve right now. Now with that, Steph, you are in a unique position as a Black woman navigating both entrepreneurship and corporate spaces. What unique challenges have you encountered, with the field that you're in right now?
Where do you want me to begin? um it's an interesting question, and it's one that I have a hard time really diving deep into because I still feel like, just very transparently, I still feel very new to
Yeah.
the United States where race is concerned.
Yeah.
So I'm Nigerian. I grew up in Nigeria, and then I lived in the UK for 10 years. And then I moved here in 2016 when my husband and I got married. And when I landed here, my very first job interview, I had braids in my hair. And the CEO of a private wealth fund is the person I was meeting. And he said, "Why do you have your hair like that? No one's going to hire you looking like that." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, never experiencing it. Yeah.
I wear braids all the time. You're lucky my braids are black today.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
sometimes
Right.
they're brown, sometimes they're blonde. Like this is
Yeah.
normal for me. And I was just really shocked by it. Didn't get that job. Don't know why, but it was shocking. So that was kind of
Yeah.
like one of my first encounters. But then I got a job, and then it was 2017, and there were all these protests happening in Baltimore,
Yeah.
and the Colin Kaepernick thing was happening, and there was so much chatter in the office that I worked in. You
Mm.
know, why is he doing this? It's
What side? Yeah.
disrespectful. Why are and it was every single day. And my first day that I walked into that office, by the way, there was one other Black woman, and she said to me, "Oh, wow. Can't believe they hired another Black person." And I'm just like, "Oh, I just want to do my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
What
just
did I
want to do
step
my
into? Yeah.
What did I step into?"
Yeah.
And it was just like so much noise and so much activity. I didn't know how to process it. I didn't
Yeah.
know how big a deal it all was, and I feel like I'm still getting to grips with it. Fortunately, I have had many very positive experiences as well in corporate, especially in my current company. Um, I feel comfortable wearing braids at my current company. I
Perfect.
changed
Yeah.
my hair at my
Yeah.
current company. They're very supportive, very pro DEI. But there are pockets, and it can really impact how you show up. It definitely impacted how I showed up because I didn't wear braids for 6 years after that
Wow.
first encounter,
Wow.
just on account of wanting to look professional and make sure that no one was going to take opportunities away from me just because they thought, based on how I show up with my
Yeah.
hair, I can't do X, Y, and Z. So it just made me a little bit cautious of how I show up. But fortunately, I did find a much healthier environment.
Yeah.
And I did start to feel more comfortable expressing myself. And um, I remember having to introduce myself to my whole department one time, and the first words out of my mouth were, I'm Nigerian and proudly so. And it just meant everything to me to be able to say that in the corporate space after previously being so self conscious about it. So there's definitely been some things, but there's also been some good things. So,
Yeah, of course. No, and
yeah.
thank you for sharing and being vulnerable with that because, like I said, I knew that you weren't originally from here, and the change, especially with being in the tech field, things are changing. The demographics are changing very rapidly, especially in
Yeah.
AI. Like I said, the learning curve is really big right now, and unfortunately, it doesn't really hit our demographic a lot of times. We're not seeing them in those rooms and corporate, offices, things like that. So I do love that you created a business yourself from that moment where you could not be visible and making sure, especially for women, because I'm sure that's, the main demographic that comes to you. Like I said, I'm going to be first in line. So, because, that's how I was conditioned, been in
Yeah.
corporate, the whole time that I've been an adult. So understanding the look of your hair and how, much of what they see on TV you can be or cannot be.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing that because it is a big step. And like I said, very important that you're creating something like this so that people know how to not only step into their own businesses, but this helps with stepping into corporate like that as well.
Yeah, of course. It's very
Go
important.
ahead, sis.
And even when we get on the topic of hair, it's also body types. I could tell you a bad experience with mine working in corporate America where I am curvy. So, therefore, working in certain spaces, they would simply say, oh, what you're wearing is inappropriate. Well, I'm wearing the same thing as
Mm,
you. It's just what I'm
yeah.
wearing, it's more filled than what yours is.
Yeah.
It's really one of those things like as black women, like how important is strategic visibility is what I'll call it when it comes
Mm.
to getting promotions and opportunities in corporate America.
Hmm. Yeah. This is a tough question because I think a lot of people won't like my answer, but I believe in my answer. So I think it is very important to be strategic with your visibility. And the reason why I'm saying I feel like some people won't agree with it is because we want to be our full selves, right? Like we want to bring our full selves to work and be authentic and, show up the way we are. And that is very important, 100%. But I also think that it would be naive of us to pretend that society is not the way that it is and to think that it doesn't matter how you show up because it does. And this is something that I think is actually really important when people are thinking about personal branding because you're building a brand whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. Someone is forming an opinion of you and how you represented yourself in a meeting, how you showed up to work, how you show up on social media. All of these impressions are being formed of you, whether you're saying, I'm an expert in this or I'm an expert in that, whether you say that out loud, people are thinking something. And so I think it's really important to be intentional about the impression that you're giving to people, not in a way where you can't be yourself, but to the extent that you can consistently show up that way and feel like you're being true to yourself, just be thoughtful about the way it may be coming across to people. So for me, now I'm in a space where I can change my hair and I don't think it changes what people think is going on in my head. But I'm still going to dress professionally. I'm still going to care about my appearance. I'm still going to make sure my hair is tidy regardless of what style I'm wearing because I want to look put together in the scenarios that
Yes.
I'm in. So I just think we have to be thoughtful and intentional about how we're being visible because opinions are being formed regardless. And if you are going to put yourself out there today, make sure that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to be proud of the way you're showing up today because those things will follow you and
Yes, that
you
part.
can't erase things these days. So
Yes.
whatever you're putting out there, just make sure you can back it up and be proud of it. And if that's great, if that's it, great. You're doing what you need to do. So it's just about, will I be happy with this 5, 10 years from now?
Yes, for sure. Because masking so easily happens. Like we said, we have to mask all the time. Being in corporate, um, like I said, I will call my sister and have a completely different conversation than I would, with the CEO.
Yeah.
So be mindful of that. Not saying you cannot be yourself,
Yeah.
but there are going to be rooms that, maybe not as expressive. So you don't have to mask, but you do have
Yeah.
to be mindful.
Yeah, I met the CEO of Kickstarter, and he was he shared how intentional he's been about not code switching, and I just thought, "Oh
Mm,
my god, I wish I could do
I
that."
wish, yeah.
I wish I could do that, but I feel like we don't all have that privilege. I asked him to bottle up how he did it and so we
Yeah,
could buy it. But he's working on that. And I don't think we know how to do that just yet. I don't think it
yeah.
applies.
And was
Yeah,
this
all the time.
pre-CEO or after he
Current
became CEO?
current CEO.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he is all right. I love that.
Yeah.
To get to a place where yes, you can not think of code switching is amazing. But maybe his
He
everyday
says
doesn't
he
sound
said he's
like
never done it, and
really
I
okay.
just think
Well,
that's phenomenal.
that is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
He's
Because
yeah.
I've answered with my phone at work before for someone I knew, and they're like, yes, can I speak to Brittany? I'm like, this is she, and they go, Brittany, and I go, yeah, and they're like, Brittany, and I was like, okay, yes. So I love that.
It's
I
so
was like,
funny.
it's my work phone. But thank you, yeah,
Yeah.
for sharing that. I'm so glad because, like you said, it's very difficult to know what someone else's perception of you will be.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you are fighting that, but find your happy medium. We're all working on it. Things are changing for us where I feel like it is a little easier. I would say that it's easier for me to walk in a room more of myself than it was maybe 10 years ago when I was in corporate. So, there are changes. Social media is helping.
Yeah.
Being visible on there definitely helps. Now, what would you say to anyone who has been overlooked despite consistently producing excellent work?
I've seen this happen a lot, actually. So in corporate, I'm one of 3 advisors on the African American Women's Council, and we don't get paid for it. We volunteer our time because we're intentional about supporting the women at work to be better, learn new skills, and figure out how they can support their careers. And we've heard so many stories, and it's a shame, right? It's heartbreaking to see someone putting in the effort and trying to do all the things and still not be recognized for it. I think what I would say is, if you can be intentional about building that portfolio and brand that you will use to support your case,
Yeah.
do that a number of times that you feel is acceptable to you. And once you reach that threshold, if you are still being overlooked, it might be time for you to find a new place.
I love that.
It might be time for you to look elsewhere, because if you've built up the body of work that demonstrates your impact, you can quantify the ways that you've delivered, you've been visible, and you've advocated for yourself repeatedly, and you're still not getting the results that you want, then it might be time for you to look elsewhere.
That's big. And have the confidence in yourself, and that's why building that portfolio is not only important to your case to them, but to yourself. You're getting to see that body of work and how important you are to move on as well. So I
Yeah.
love that advice and those boundaries that you
Yeah, of
create.
course. Yeah.
It looks like it's freezing on my side. Um, but I was going to say, when it comes to corporate and visibility, I am really big on networking. So if I know I want to get to a certain place in corporate, it's very important to me to reach out to persons who are already in a position that I want to be in. And in a way to build some type of mentorship. So, from your personal experience, Stephanie, how important has mentorship been for you throughout your career?
Um, it's been very important, but I will say in an unofficial way. I don't know that I've named many people mentors, but I've definitely been intentional about networking in corporate. I remember 2 weeks
Mhm.
into joining my current company, I reached out to the VP of my department. I was like, "Hey, I'd love to chat. When are you free?" And I don't usually do things like
That's
that. I'm an
amazing.
introvert. I'm shy. I don't like if you see me outside and I don't know you, I probably have RBF, but that's just because I'm like thinking what's everybody thinking.
Yes, yes.
So it was very out of the ordinary for me. But I was new to tech. This was my first role in tech after having pivoted from finance. And I knew I was coming in at a disadvantage. And I was going to need to find some other way to prove to people I belonged there. And
Yeah.
so I just thought that I had to show people what I could do and build relationships that would give me opportunities to show what I could do. And so my first thought was the VP is a woman. I'm going to reach out to her and see what advice she has for me as a woman in tech. And so I
Yeah.
reached out to her, and she then made recommendations to me as to who else I could reach out to start building that network. So I started to branch out based on her recommendations. She is definitely a mentor of mine. She calls me friend sometimes, which is why it's hard to say mentor, but like she's definitely a mentor of mine. I love her, ride for her. But definitely finding people that can advocate for you, help you chart the path to where you're trying to go is 100% like critical to success today. Um, I've I've reached out to people that I admire, and sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. Sometimes the connection just isn't there. So
Yeah.
I know this might happen to people is why I'm bringing it up. Not you're not going to hit it off first time with everyone, and it does take intentionality. And for someone that may be a shy introvert too, it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's just like being visible anywhere. You're being visible in a one-to-one setting. In some cases it's even worse than putting yourself out there in front of hundreds of people because you got to make a conversation and like any gap is like, oh my god, this is awkward. What
Yes.
are they thinking? How what should I say next? I gotta sound smart. You know, you have all these things going on in your head, but it's definitely important to push past things like that. For networking, the thing that I found most helpful to me is to try to just have conversations and ask questions until you find something that you have in common with the person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
That 1% is going to be your connection to that person for the rest of your relationship. Great if you can expand that into 5, 10%, whatever. But that 1% is your connection point the next time you come back to them. So say you talk to someone and they're like, "Oh, I went to college in New York," and you grew up in New York or something. The next time, "Oh, hey, have you been to New York recently?" Or, "Hey, I saw the New York Knicks
Mm,
did XYZ." Like that's your connection point. And you can
yeah.
always start a conversation based on that. It helps you build likability, relatability, and helps them remember you because you establish that and over again. So that's one thing that has definitely helped me overcome the awkwardness in conversation. When I find that 1%, I'm going to use that every time.
That's beautiful. No, great tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never even thought about that because a lot of times that is how I hold that conversation with people. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it
I
works.
remember. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. So I feel like I can do that more in person, right? Like I'm pretty good in a crowd. I can hold a conference room. How did that transition over into being online and being visible that way? Like, where do you seek that same connection? How do I maintain that with my audience and maintain my brand?
You mean going from corporate to online?
Yes, where you built StephxTech now.
I mean, girl, I'm still figuring it out.
Okay.
um, no, so like this is part of what was really cringy when I first started my page is how I talk in corporate is how I was talking on my page. And it
Okay,
was
that's my
very
problem,
like,
I think.
here's what we're going to do today. And AI is changing the way we think about things. And, it was just very preachy and, you know, what are you doing to prepare for AI coming to take your job? It's just like nobody wants to hear that. Like it was just very impersonal to trying to sound like an expert and just not great. And that's why it was very embarrassing. Um So it was weird and it was awkward, but like I said, I'd made the commitment to myself to
Mm,
do it and analyze what I'm doing, see what's
right.
working, what's not working. Um, and it's funny because in my first week, I think the fourth post that I made on the account actually went viral. Um, it got like 30,000 views or something, which was viral for me
Wow.
at the time because I had like
Yeah.
5 followers. um, I couldn't figure out why it happened.
Um,
But when things started to take off for me and I looked back, I was like, oh, I told my story. Like
um,
I told my story and it was a pivotal transformational moment story for me. And that's what personal branding is. And that's what it does. And there are people that liked that post and commented on that post that I still have conversations with today. They are
wow.
in my stories. We are supporting each other. And some of them have gone on to become clients. And it's like, that's the power of it. So I realized that you can't preach to people, you can't talk at people, no one wants that. It's like just be vulnerable about the journey that you're on, invite people to come on that journey with you, be relatable, and people will decide if you're for them or if you're not. And if they're not, then fine, but if they are, it's going to work and it's going to pay off.
Right.
That's actually so true. And then a lot of times in those spaces, especially I'm introverted as well. So obviously my sister, we're kind of like the opposite. So with my personal branding, I'm really good at recording myself every day, but going live every week here, it is just, it's a struggle. Whereas my sister, obviously, you can see the difference. It's very conversation. I'm sitting here like, yep, okay. And I will try to formulate a question when we get there. But for my sister, she's not going to record and she's not going to post
Take pictures or anything.
anything
Yeah.
on her
Sorry.
social media, right? None of that. So when you have
Wow.
people out there who are introverted, I know it's so strange. We're the complete
Night and
opposite.
day.
I completely post at all. She'll get on live anytime and have a conversation. That's not. I do this every week, and I still get scared. But for someone who's like afraid to ask for help when it comes to personal branding, AR, any of that, what would you tell them as far as like if they're scared to ask for help in any aspect with personal branding?
um don't be. And I know that's easier said than done, but don't be, because how else are you going to figure it out? You have to ask. You either have to figure it out yourself or you have to ask someone for help, someone that's done it before, gone before you and figured out the thing that you are trying to do. Having someone that you can, reach out to and say, "Hey, I see you've done XYZ. I'm trying to do XYZ. Do you have any tips for me?"
Yeah.
And not everyone's going to respond, right? Um, People get busy, DMs get hidden or whatever, but I think it's part of the learning process. And one of the things that I firmly believe in is that you're never going to feel ready for anything
Yeah.
big, new, any goal that you're trying to accomplish. You're never going to feel ready. And if you feel ready, you're too late. You should have done it 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with asking for help. It's like, I'm nervous. I don't know if this person is going to respond. If they don't respond, so what? It doesn't hurt you. It any number of things could be going on in that person's life. But if you ask and they respond, then you do get something from it. You do get
Yeah.
to take a tip, take a nugget home or whatever. I try my very best to respond to every single comment, respond to every single DM, because I still remember what it was like 5 months ago looking for the help and the advice. And so I try my very best. It gets overwhelming sometimes with everything that I have going on, but you might get lucky and reach out to the right person and find the help that you need. And it's one of the reasons why I I understand. But sometimes there can be a bad, like, courses and programs online can get a bad rep. And on one hand, I understand that there are bad actors and people that are scammy and just trying
Yeah.
to make a quick buck and are not actually going to deliver value. I understand that. But you got to do your due diligence too.
Yeah.
This is where, like, again, the personal branding component comes in. Like, something will tell you that you can or cannot trust someone, and they will have reviews or people that you can ask and say, has this worked for me or whatever. And then you know that, okay, this might give me an indication of someone that I can invest in to learn the thing that I'm trying to learn if I want to go deeper on it. But you're never going to feel ready. It's going to be scary, but the only way you grow and go to new levels is by taking that first step. And when you take that first step, you realize you didn't die. And okay, maybe I can take one more. Didn't die again. Great. I'll find one more person to ask. And then you just keep going until you start seeing the results that you want.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to piggyback off of that because as a person who struggles with that, even if you can't ask, so something that I did, and that's actually, I found Steph's page from one of your like engaging posts for me that talked about AI agents and also your use of creating like your clone. I can't think what's called right now, but your AI clone pretty much. That actually prompted me to go find which app I wanted to use, and I downloaded HeyGen, created all my little avatars, things like that. Yeah, and it was from your video. That's how I was like, and because I'm like, okay,
so
if
happy.
I'm struggling, then she's right. I can create this and just do it the one time, and at least have a weekly, post of this AI avatar. So thank you. Like I said, I really am person. You guys, I meant it. I'm really the person signing up first.
That.
So I couldn't ask, but I did. There are videos like this. Steph has a million of them. Like I said, she definitely uses the AI agents and avatars to manage content and your business operations. So can you talk a little bit about how you're personally leveraging AI, how anyone else can use it?
Yes. I love AI. Like I said, it's got its bad parts for sure. But it is an amazing tool that I think more women should be leveraging. I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for AI, just quite frankly. I have a corporate job. I manage a team at my corporate job. I have 2 kids. I have my marketing agency, which I was still running when I started this page. And then I'm posting every single day on this page. That's a lot of stuff. And the only way I'm able to get all the stuff done that I have to get done is because I'm using AI a lot for my operations. So everything from helping me do my research for content, that's a really big one. So I have an agent that will go out on the internet and take the top posts from YouTube, X, and TikTok, and then tell me what themes are coming out there that I can leverage in my own content, or what's blowing up on those platforms that I haven't spoken about yet that I can make content about. It will also check my Instagram account and say, here's what you said you wanted to do. Here's what you said you wanted your brand to be known for. I'm not seeing these things in the last week. So this is a gap in your content. You need to go make content about this to be cohesive with your brand. All the way to like helping me refine my scripts. So I'm doing a lot of talking heads right now. I'm continuing to challenge myself to test things. And so I'm doing a lot of talking heads, trying to bring some of this personality onto that. It's so hard. I'm trying.
Yes.
But I'll drop a voice note or something and say, here's what I'm thinking about making a talking head video about. And then I just brain dump everything that I've got. And then I'll say, turn this into like a 60 to 75 second script. And then it will help me do that. So all of those like content pieces, it's helping me do. And then writing the captions, coming up with the hashtags, and analyzing the metrics after that. All of my content stuff is AI. Beyond that, because I have a program now, it's helping me. One of my favorite things is every single call that I have is recorded. And so when there are nice comments that people say, my AI is catching that and storing it in my testimonials folder. Or when there are pain points or people are asking the same question over and over again, it's identifying those gaps and then putting it in Asana for me to go record a video about so that I can address that and fix it in the curriculum.
I love that. Wow.
It's like just analyzing all these different things to make sure that the program I'm delivering to my clients is the best it can possibly be.
Yeah.
And sometimes it will say, I'm hearing this comment, this problem come up over and over again. You should make a tool that solves this, or you should make a skill and give it to your students. And it has recommended things like that for me so many times,
Wow.
and allowed me to focus on showing up for them and being present face to face. Because I'm not like, oh my God, I have to note this down. I have to remember to
Yeah.
go do this thing. It's like doing it all for me in the background, and I can be fully present in connecting with them, reviewing their content, and answering the questions that they actually have. So it's allowing me to be more connected to them, which I just absolutely love. And then it's doing boring things like my morning brief, where it's like, okay, you have all these tasks, or you
Yeah.
haven't done your books this week. Helping me categorize my expenses. The other day, I had it go through all of my emails to see how much I've spent on online programs and digital products. I'm not going to tell you the
Yeah, I've
number,
done that
but it
recently too.
was
Yeah.
it was six figures. So let's just move right past that.
Way.
But look, it's knowledge. I'm
Yes.
learning, and I've kissed a few frogs, but I
Yes.
also now know what to watch out for. So
Right.
I really love it, and I think there's so much that AI can do with taking manual tasks off your plate, automating things, helping you see gaps that you may not be able to see because you're too close to it. Building websites and landing pages and email sequences and all of that stuff. I would not be able to do all that stuff. I wouldn't be able to deliver what I'm doing right now if I didn't have the support of AI.
So definitely a tool that is helpful. But like she was saying, you definitely need to know, what tools you're using, what to utilize for, especially for your own business. Sometimes what other people are using does not help you because you guys do completely different things, and that AI model may not be, something that will be compatible. So definitely, like
Yeah.
she said, find someone that's doing what you're doing. That's the great thing about having the internet as well as AI.
Yeah.
You have all the answers for you readily at your fingertips.
Yeah. 100%.
So, sis, do you want to move to your favorite part?
What's that?
The last question that you want me to do soul sessions confessions.
Soul Sessions Confessions.
Oh my gosh.
This is our
I
rapid
was not
fire.
warned.
No, this is rapid fire.
It's
So
our
things we
version
didn't
of
give her.
rapid fire.
Oh,
Not
okay.
too,
All right, what you
not
got?
too. All right. What I have for you, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
I'm with you on that.
Live without it.
Morning or night owl? Or you're a morning person or night owl?
See, naturally, I'm a night owl, but I got these
Hmm.
kids, and they wake up at 6,
Out.
which means if I want time for myself in the morning, I have to get up at 5. So
Yeah, yeah.
I've had to become a morning person.
It's good old kids. Okay, so what is one app you couldn't run your business without?
Claude.
I'm
Easy.
just moving over to Claude. Okay, so I gotta get on it.
What are you using? Out of curiosity.
So I'm still on
Okay.
Chat, Gemini, and then I just moved over to Hey Jen just for the other stuff. So we'll see.
Okay. I still use chat,
Um,
by the way, but Claude 100%.
I thought chat was canceled.
Yeah, but when everyone started going over to Claude, she started glitching a little bit. Like
Yeah, I started
sometimes,
integrating my Chat GPT over, and that's when it started glitching. That's why I haven't really gone
yeah,
back.
I think they had a hard time stabilizing with all the demand, and so sometimes it has challenges here and there.
Mhm.
And I still like to just test my models. I like to just see what the outputs are going to look like. So sometimes if I'm running a task in Claude, I just want to see what chat is going to give me just to see,
Yeah,
just to make sure.
yeah.
So I like to pit them against each other every now and then. And sometimes chat still wins,
Okay.
to be clear. I just think it's good to have variety and options. Yeah.
What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I'm actually really goofy. I'm actually really goofy. Like I have a hard time bringing my personality out, but I'm actually really goofy. Like, put me around my brothers and sometimes, like, even my husband, we have like these stupid inside jokes. We do all these stupid, embarrassing dances.
Oh, I love it.
Like, we sing along to things like songs in the mask. Oh my God. I'm actually
Okay.
really goofy.
Yes,
And
I love
it just,
that.
it hasn't found its way online yet, but I'm actually really goofy.
Okay, I have my last question for the Soul Sessions Confessions is if you could have dinner with one woman in history, who would it be?
Wow. Um, Dead or alive?
Dead or
Dead or
alive?
alive?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have to say Rihanna. Like, just keep it 100.
Yeah.
I would have to say Rihanna. I love her. I feel like she is so unapologetically herself.
Yeah.
I just want to learn how she does it.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. She's phenomenal. Amazing businesswoman, amazing mom, just beautiful brand. I just love everything about her. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I really wanted to give you a smart, like,
No, that's
philosophical
perfect.
answer, but in reality, that's it.
Yeah.
That is
For
your
her
answer.
visibility, yeah, I love, yeah, she always showed up as herself. I've always loved that too. And I'm like, gosh, like she can the sex appeal without being overtly sexy. Like I love that about her too. So no,
Yeah,
I
and she's
agree.
evolved so
Hmm.
much.
Oh
Like,
yes.
so many twists and turns,
So
and her
many.
journey has just been beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, no, I agree. Now, this one is our final question of the interview, and we always like to give it a little time. If you could title the memoir of your journey thus far, what would the title be and why?
Hmm. I think I would call it Just Start.
Mm,
I would call it Just Start because there's so many times in my life where I've wanted to do something and not had the courage to do it, or been talked out of it, or been discouraged by it, or afraid to start. And it has held me back, and I haven't done those things. And it's never served me. It's never gotten me better. It's never gotten me more of what I wanted. All it's done is kept me small and held me back from seeing what's possible. But the times where I have actually taken the step towards something that I want, towards something that I'm curious about or that I want to try, those are the things that have actually led me to grow. Those are the things that have terrified me and been difficult for me to move through. But eventually, I came out on the other side. And I would never have gone through the growth if I didn't just start. Like,
I love that.
spending 10 years in finance and being miserable about it, complaining about it every single day, and waiting for something to change, but I wasn't doing anything about it. If I had never started trying to teach myself how to code and then started applying to boot camps, like, I would not be where I am today. I would not know half as much as I do about AI. I would never have learned that it's possible to change your trajectory in the middle of your life. And I would never have learned that it's never too late to do what you want to do. So it's interesting because someone actually asked me if I want to write a book recently. So I hadn't
Well,
thought
there it
about a
is.
title, but
There it is. So just
let's
start, Steph.
start.
You just said
Just
it.
By
start.
Stephanie
Just
Omotosho.
start the book.
I absolutely love it. And thank you for sharing. Definitely with you on that. They say the most beautiful things are on the other side of fear that mainly you created yourself. So I'm glad that you did start, that you're continuing. So we want to give you your flowers. And sis, if you want to
Thank
do
you
our
so much.
outro,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Of course, of course. So if anyone is listening tonight has been hiding, doubting themselves, or just waiting for permission to become visible, just do it. Like Miss Stephanie
Start.
said, just start. Start at any time. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you're in your 20s, 50s, whatever. Just start. Can't go wrong with that. And Miss Stephanie, we do greatly appreciate your time. And this has been a beautiful, insightful conversation. And how can our audience connect with you? We're
Thank
at
you
the
so
very stage.
much. Yeah,
Of
thank you so
course.
much. I've had an amazing time talking to you both. The questions were so thoughtful and insightful for me as well. Just having to dig deep and be introspective has been really revealing. So, thank you so much for putting this together and for having me on. I think if people want to follow along on my journey, there's a lot that I'm still figuring out, as I mentioned. So you can find me on Instagram at StephxTech. Um, it's my handle right there, and that's really where I show up. So just find me over there.
And we will definitely be continuing to post any type of workshops or things that Steph has. Like I said, I will be signing up for sure. So join me. And when I do, I'm going to record that journey because I'm going to do my 90 days, like Steph said, to
Yay!
make sure that, not only are we being visible, but vulnerability is going to be what, has people trust your brand. So again, Stephanie, thank you so very much for your time. That was another exciting episode of Sister Soul Sessions. Join us again next week at 7 p.m. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank you.